So the agenda of this video is I'll cover what is algorithm, then what is efficiency of an algorithm, what is computational complexity, resources needed for effective execution of program, big O notation, dominant term, and calculating complexity. So very first topic is what is algorithm. See children, you have already studied about algorithm in 11th standard. So the same thing, I'll repeat that algorithm is basically a step-by-step solution to any program. So suppose if you want to prepare a tea only, then what you will do, you will take a vessel, switch on the gas, add a water, keep vessel on the gas, pour some sugar, tea leaves and milk, and then after boiling you will filter it. So this is step-by-step solution when you are preparing tea. Similarly, when we are following step-by-step solution for any problem like adding a number, subtracting a number, or any other problem that is written in simple English, that is known as algorithm. Suppose there is a program to add two numbers. So how you are going to write algorithm for it? Step 1, take two numbers A and B, then you have to add two numbers and save it in a variable, I suppose C, then print the result and display it on the screen or print the result. So this is a simple algorithm of adding two numbers. So each and every program has an algorithm. So we want to, the intention is we want to just calculate the efficiency of an algorithm. So what is an efficiency of an algorithm? The efficiency means the program is said to be efficient if it uses low overall resources and lesser time. Means if the execution is fast and it will need less resources. So the efficiency depends on two factors. Resources, I'll discuss what are the resources that will be needed. So this efficiency depends on two factors, that is internal factors and external factors. Internal factors means time and space that is needed to run a program. See, we cannot control the internal factors, but we can control external factors, which are size of input, speed of computer, and quality of compiler. External factors are in our hand, but internal factors we cannot manipulate, we cannot change. So what is computational complexity? Computational complexity is made up of two words. The first one is computation. It basically means what problems are to be solved, and complexity means the difficulty level or whatever things which are needed to execute a program, or study of factors to determine how much resources are sufficient for efficient execution of program. See, the execution should be efficient. It means proper result we should get through the proper use of resources. If a program is developed in such a way that more number of resources are needed or lot of time is needed for execution of that particular program, so the program is not effective. See, one program can be done in different methods. The way which we are following to do any program, so that way may differ. Obviously, one program can be done in different ways. So we have to take care that it should use minimum resources and it should use lesser time. That program is efficient program. So the resources which I told you I'll discuss afterwards. So resources which we need for effective execution. The first one is obviously the time, and second one is the space. The space basically is the memory needed. The time to run the algorithm and the space, that is the memory or storage needed to run an algorithm. So these two things, we will be concentrating on these two things. If we will control this, then our program will be effective. So big O notation, it is used to depict an algorithm growth rate. Means it is a method of determine how faster or slow an algorithm is. This is FASTER, of how faster or slower an algorithm is. Means when we are manipulating the algorithm, it should be, whether it is fast or slow, this can be done through big O notation. It is a method. Then it signifies the relationship between input to the algorithm and steps required to execute the algorithm. See, when we are writing algorithm or we are writing program, each and every step need some time for execution. So study of these things comes under big O notation. So big O notation basically uses, it keeps a track of the time needed for each and every statement. So it is represented by capital O followed by opening and closing parenthesis. In the parenthesis, we write the number of steps. So basically, we write the capital O followed by parenthesis, in which we will write number of steps needed. It is usually represented in form of n or any other name. Means it can be n, it can be t, it can be x, but usually we use n, means number of steps. So this enables us to identify whether this algorithm is slow or fast. Suppose I have written here O, for any algorithm, big O notation is ON, and when same program is done through any other algorithm, then big O notation is n square. Suppose it is n square. Now we have to identify which algorithm is appropriate. So n is number of steps. So if number of steps are 10, suppose, so in that case ON will result in 10. Time is equal to, for this will be 10, but for in case of n square, the time will be 100. So obviously the more time is needed if we are following this algorithm. So using big O notation, we can know which algorithm is appropriate. So we will move ahead. That is dominant term. See, big O notation, when we calculate time using big O notation, it results in an equation. Equation is basically a collection of different terms. Just like mathematical equation, it will result in an equation which have different terms. So dominant term, it is the term for which the size is maximum. Big O is a function with a parameter n, where n is the size of input, or we can say number of steps. More is the input size and more is the impact of performance. As I already told you, if big O notation is n, that is the number of the time needed will be less. If it is n square, then time needed will be more. The term which will affect the performance the most. So big O notation will result in an equation. The term which will affect the performance, if the weight of term is maximum, that term is known as dominant term. So using that dominant term only, we will get our result, that is big O notation result. So for example, if an algorithm has performance, suppose this is the performance C0, C1, n and n square, where n is term and this is the constant value, means the time required for any particular statement. This is a constant value. In this case, the dominant term will be n square, because the result will mostly depend on n square. That is why for this the dominant term is C2n square. So the notation will be written in the form ON square. You can write in small as small n also, or capital N is also. So this notation can be written as n square, because for this equation the dominant term is C2n square. We will ignore the constant and write the term according to the input. Now, how to calculate the complexity of any program? First of all, if we are considering loop, you can see here, if for I in range, this is a normal loop, and print I, suppose this for print I, we need the time t. Suppose the time t is needed for execution of print I. So obviously you can see how many times this loop will execute, n minus 1 time, because it is starting from 1 and going up to n. Upper limit is exclusive. So it will, how many times it will execute? N minus 1 time. So obviously the time needed for executing this loop will be n minus 1 into t. So total time needed will be n minus 1 into t. Then when we will open this bracket, it will become nt and t. So t is constant and here t is constant. So dominant term will be, obviously you can see the dominant term is this one, nt. And when we are writing in it notation, we will ignore the constant and write only the steps, the input, that is n. So this is the big O notation of loops. Next is, if we are considering the nested loop. Nested loop means loop within other loop. So this is the example. This is the first loop, second loop, and the statement within the loop. So you can see, if suppose for printing hi, within this first loop we need t time is required. So you can see how many times this loop will execute. N means 0 to n means n times. And how many time it will execute here? That is n minus 1 time. This will result in n minus 1 and this will result in n times. So total time that will be required will be n minus 1 into n. So the total time will be n minus 1 into n into t, obviously, because that is a constant time. When we will open it, so it will result in n square t. Here the dominant term is n square t. So constant ignored and big O notation will be n square. Third, calculating complexity, consecutive statements means one after other statements. So suppose here also I have taken two for loops, but they are not loops within loop. So suppose first loop is this one, second loop is this one, and there is a nested loop in second statement. So you can see here, I have taken the first loop. Suppose the time needed to execute this statement will be t1. So 1 to n means how many times this loop will execute? N minus 1. And total time that will be needed for this is n minus 1 into t. N minus 1 into t will be needed to execute this particular statement. So and when we talk about this statement, it is nested loop, for which number of iteration for this loop will be n. Suppose for print this statement, the time needed is t2. So t2 into n. This is t2. T2 will be needed for inner loop and multiplied by outer loop, because it will be executed in this way. This is loop within loop, so total time required will be n into n t2. So the total time that will be needed will be addition of this particular statement and this particular statement. So the equation will be n1 into t1 and n into n is n square into t2. We will open it. You can see this equation. Now again the dominant term is this one. N square is greater than n, hence dominant term will become n2 t2. We will ignore the constant and the term will become O n square. The next one is calculating complexity of conditional statements. Conditional statements, if, elif or if else. So suppose I have written if x is equal to 2, print thank you, else for I in range I have used for loop. Now suppose for printing thank you, print two statements are there. For comparison, time needed is See, in this case, comparison, each and every comparison needs a constant time. Then comes this print statement. Obviously, it will also take some time. This statement will take time t2. So in all, this time, how much time will be needed? T1 plus T2. And if else is executed, in that case, this loop will execute. This loop will execute n times, and the constant time will be required to print I and print I into 2. Suppose T3 and T4. So in all, and so to calculate to the time required to execute this portion will be n into T3 plus T4. So finally the total time will be T1 plus T2 plus n into T3 plus T4. So when we will open it, the dominant term will be obviously only n. So the notation will be n. Fifth one is logarithmic complexity. This is the last complexity. So it is basically the notation of algorithm is O log n if it takes constant time to cut the problem size by fraction, usually by half. Example, binary search. So why we are using logarithmic? Because it is not confirmed. Suppose binary search, what we do in binary search, we find the middle term. We find maybe the best case is when we will get the first search when we are in first iteration only we get the element. That is the best case we will get. So if by chance the first element, that means the iteration when we are reaching the last element, that is the element which we want to search. So in that is why the complexity depends on the input we are giving, the number we want to search. So that is the logarithmic complexity. That is why I have given example of binary search, because it takes constant time to cut the problem size by a fraction. So the conclusion is the maximum process performance is always not desirable, because we are using our own way to develop a program. So to choose the appropriate algorithm, we need to compare the different algorithms. Suppose I am assigning you to write the program, the most appropriate algorithm is the algorithm which needs less resources and less time to get executed.